Hello, I hope all is progressing well. Welcome to I Don't Know, We Can Talk About It, where we discuss myriads of topics civilly, reasonably, and responsibly. My name is Kevin Dufresne. Our first topic is about parents allowing students mental health days. What is a mental health day? The article assesses differences of a student that has diagnoses indicating one may be experiencing a mental health situation, whereas another situation may be in relation to if a student is dealing with a lot of work and might want a break, might feel a sense of overwhelming. Who is responsible to say what is a lot? Who is responsible to say what a person is going through requires a day off due to a mental health situation? I feel may be a boundary that many entities may come across. I feel as though being mindful of what an individual may need in an educational atmosphere is always going to be necessary for any responsible for learners, individuals in an educational atmosphere. In different institutions, one might come across the increasing of awareness. If an individual may need attention in a particular regard, then letting a responsible individual, like a teacher, know is a part of protocol. If an institution does not have such a process, a protocol set, then one may experience education, one may experience an educational atmosphere quite differently than may be helpful to an individual, especially in light of a reality where one expressing one's needs to an individual responsible in part for one's educational experience, the individual will find relief, find great support in being successful. I feel as though conversations of mental health being a part of conversations of educational atmospheres revolve around an ever-changing educational dynamic. The ever-changing educational dynamic, which is always present, even more so due to recent situations, social media, the internet more so, that bring individuals to regard educational atmospheres quite differently. Like the pandemic, like if a school experiences a traumatic event, individuals are regarding how education might be. In reality, particularly in America, in any educational environment subscribing to the base tenets of building good education, educational criterion is ever expanding. Any educational environment not regarding the expansiveness of what education may not be allowing for individuals to experience full maximizing, realizing of potentials. when assessing whether an individual's mental health is to a point where he may justify a day off, one may do so considering mental health, though one may observe broader reality. What is a 4-day work week? What is a 4-day school week? Especially in light of online possibilities, remote work. What does modernity have to offer through educational environments that allows for an individual to be effectively functional in an interdependent reality? We're going to dig more into this entering into our next topic. How schools, how an educational environment may prepare an individuals career-wise. How dynamics of connecting careers through education are becoming more apparent, always valuable to entities in connection with an educational environment. When assessing what education means, when assessing what an economy might necessitate, when assessing relations between educational atmospheres and economies, one may find many causative realities. Now, how does an educational atmosphere cater to any individual that may be sitting wondering the purpose of even being in an educational atmosphere when an individual may not be experiencing life personally to any degree that matches the individual's potential? When does an individual have a chance to self-realize, self-actualize? Especially for any seeking self-actualization, self-realization with an awareness of where one might be able to succeed, how one might be able to succeed, though does not receive support in directions toward one's personal, mindful self-realization, self-actualization. I find whenever a conversation of mental health particularly arises, many aspects of discussions come to the forefront of the conversation. Is an individual feeling a particular way because of school, because of an educational environment, because of home, because of aspects of home mixing with an educational environment, because of in-between routes between an educational environment and home? Who is to know exactly what is going on in one's mind, and who is to be clear about what exactly one feels aside from the one experiencing so personally? The article discussing mental health mentions anxiety, and anxiety is actually an unsure motion, meaning anxiety is a neutral point where one can decide how one wants to feel from that point. So one can initially feel a mysterious bubbling, mysterious energy that one is able to channel into a way one feels like one wants to feel like. If one wants to be happy moving forward, one may. The mysteries of life do have myriads of responses available. So, when assessing how an individual might feel in an educational environment, especially considering an individual may be thinking career-wise, maybe thinking economically, depending on one's background, then I feel as though if an educational environment is respecting educational criterion, individuals will be learning broadly, of course, respecting that beyond a particular point of education, an individual may have choice to specialize, though opportunities may come earlier. When one enters an educational atmosphere like college, university, for a bachelor's, for a master's degree, for a doctorate, one is not only to obtain an accreditation, one is not only to obtain a degree or a diploma, one is to obtain experiential progressions toward better understanding oneself as well as the world around oneself. When one enters a major, when one finds what one enjoys in life, one is to experience fully, to grow, to progress in a way or so that allows one to succeed in such a way for life. So when an educational environment is able to cater to an individual that may have a particular skill that with proper attention may grow well, then an individual may thrive far more than if an individual has such a skill, though may be in a situation that does not allow one to get into a different situation that allows one to fully thrive with a skill one may be choosing to develop. In America, particularly, I'm very familiar with arts type schools. Having career paths available for individuals that are seeking to experientially progress is valuable. Competitions allow individuals to stand out in myriad ways, especially when competitive environments are very visible to a field one has an interest in. Additionally, internships are available for freshmen. Internships are available for not only seniors and juniors, so individuals with interest in a particular area may find value through opportunities that allow them to engage in a career path and a career choice earlier on, so as to engage with what one truly wants personally long term. Being able to embrace such decisions earlier on may be very helpful for individuals that are completely willing and mindful of life personally, even if not completely aware of the directions one may have the opportunity to self-actualize, self-realize, because of the opportunities that allow one to embark in particular directions that are at least even seemingly in alignment with what one wants personally. I'm all for expanding education, of course, respecting how much an educational environment can afford to expand educational criterion. Because I understand that wherever individuals may self-actualize, self-realize, fulfilling potentials, there will be vast amounts of success, vast opportunities to thrive, especially in a competitive environment, and individuals that are willing may make even more pathways available for future generations. The reality is, opportunity is present, and educational environments may have the growth avenues that are not, as a parent, external to an educational environment unless one is aware of the parameters of the world external to educational environments. Even so, educational environments have such vast amounts of traffic, consistent traffic, that through educational atmospheres, with open minds, mindful minds, aware of the ever-expanding educational criterion on all different levels of education, even beyond education, in connection with an educational atmosphere. Because learning is not only subject to an educational atmosphere, as one may argue, education is not only subject to an educational atmosphere, then individuals will prove valuable, self-actualizing, self-realizing, and find joy and find purpose through good learning, and the world may become a better place. I find these topics fascinating, very important, because the apparent portions arising in connection with educational atmospheres, economies, are always present, though even more so day by day will become so due to realizations of the necessities to expand how and what an educational environment is capable of, as well as seemingly, arguably, responsible for. Though responsibility that meets individuals willingly choosing to progress mindfully well, which again does not rest completely from the arguable stance on an educational environment, though how one approaches an interdependent reality at large, which a good educational atmosphere may better assist one with doing, especially considering long-term progressions. All right, let's get into some origami. Today's origami is an origami crab. First, we're going to take our origami crab, we're going to just fold it in half, and we're going to fold it in half again. Now, here's the tricky part. All we're going to do here is we're going to open this. But you have to open it so it goes sideways. So if you look at it from this portion, see, we have the top part with the arrows pointing up. Look at it from the top portion. Just gonna take this, like a finger in one, and then we're gonna open it up slowly like a cup, and then we're gonna make it come across so that we have like a nice triangle. Okay? So when you go from square to bringing it across, that point across, and then you have a nice triangle. And we're gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna take this again, bring this point across. Some might just say flatten the square, but bring the point across, flatten the square, and then make a nice triangle here. This is not the only way to do this. You can actually get to this position in a different way, but this is how we're doing it here. So you see? Boom, boom. So we have it here if you look. This is how you'll be looking at your origami. Next, what we do is we're actually gonna take one portion, just bring it up lightly. Doesn't have to be a lot. We'll just bring it up lightly. Here. Bring it up lightly. Here. Then we're going to turn the page around, and actually we have to bring it down. We'll bring it down lightly here. We'll bring it down lightly here. Okay, so now we're going to have this portion. So there we go. Then we're going to just fold this portion up in the back. I'm working from memory here. Fold this portion up from the back here. And then we turn this over, and then we're going to come up. I'm going to fold this portion here. Fold this portion here. So now, as you can see, we have a very interesting form here. And then voila, we have our crab here. Now, this actually looks like the crab's heads are forward, so we might want to just fold it back a little bit, these ears, just to give it some more pop out and to give it that stability right here of the front portion. And voila, we have a crab. Now, if you have a pen nearby, you can just draw in the eyes here, and you'll have your little mouth here, and you can design it. But yeah, now you have a pet crab. And it also kind of looks like a Galaga spaceship. All right. Reading physical books are very, very valuable to one's health long term regarding spatial development, history, science, longer than most alive today. Now, the book today is Will, about one of the most popular entertainers in history, Will Smith. The biography is a group effort. Two individuals collaborate on the book, Will Smith being one of them. And I find the text to be hilarious. The text is regarding Will Smith's life, upbringing, to the point in his life that many may be aware of if you're following Will Smith, a point of him going out of the helicopter. And I feel as though the text just offers so many valuable insights, so many wonderful points to acknowledge about progressing through life, being consistent, working hard, working smart, being out, especially if one is in connection with entertainment, if one is an acting partner, if one is an artist, if one is engaging in the entertainment industry, one may find value in Will Smith's journey. Even more so, I think the lessons about life that pertain to realities around one, lives around one, are just so deep. And how in an interdependent reality, individuals working together, being a good individual, being ready even when one might not know one is ready, are so valuable to recognize when reading the text. And when regarding one's own life, one may be able to find value in particular moments that one may not even realize valuably. I really appreciate the text. I find such a text, like any nonfiction text, that really grounds in being personal, like a memoir, may offer one a lot to reflect with. So one may observe one's own life, respecting one's distance from the other's life, though recognizing the value in one's life, appreciating one's life. And I appreciate the book. I find myself laughing more often than feeling like whoa, because there are some whoa moments in Will Smith's life, in Will Smith's journey to where he is. And like any life, I feel like one may find life is full of so much joy, especially if one continues on and does not give up learning well and meeting individuals, meeting good people, and working well in one's life. Thanks for joining. I don't know. We can talk about it. Onward and Upward. Dufresne.